We have some standard mortar bits over here. No need, when you use Stone Smart stone, you don't need to buy special, expensive something to make it stick to the wall. With our mortar grabber back, it will just cling. And I've had success over 55 years with this. So this is my preferred method. Other ways, you want to talk to your contractor about your specific installation. You know, there's variations, but this is my preferred method. And this is over-poured concrete, which, so anyway, a little mixture like this, you know, this is, I think we bought this in a local hardware place somewhere, and it'll be fine. And we're talking about the backs following. So we're going over here I want to show you something very, very important. I'm just walking over to a pile of stone. This has been out in the rain and wet, but that's not going to hamper us. This stuff will stick under any conditions, practically. Here's the difference. This is a leading worldwide company, and we're your local neighbor. We service Yolo County, Napa County, Marin, Sonoma, a little bit up near Lake County. And so anyway, this is our mortar grabber back in this hand that I'm talking about. You see that it is scar fired. That means scratched in most common lingo. And it is flat, but still open-faced. And that means it has the right water retention rate. I'm not an actor. But anyway, at least you know I'm not acting. But anyway, so when you put, we'll show you over here in just a little bit, you put a bond coat on the back and then ear it like you would a block or a brick, which, you know, if you're a novice, and I'd like to begin by saying, if you ever have any questions, we'd love to hear them. You're just, you know, we'll give you the number on the website at the end of this. But this is a worldwide competitor. They are selling stone around the world. And this was taken off a wall. And it came off easy. As you can see, where the only places that it bonded is where this, you can see that exposed aggregate. None of this bonded. And look at that dip. And the more mortar you use to put stone on the wall, the more mortar expands and contracts. And it's supposed to, so it can breathe. But you know, too much of a good thing is a bad thing. And if you have a pile of mortar here and it expands and contracts, especially under freeze-thaw conditions up in the Sierras, it freezes around here occasionally, and then it freeze-thaw, it expands. Water expands at 28 tons per square inch. Cubic inch. Thank you. Please bear with me. But anyway, so that's why you need want the right amount of mortar to do the job correctly. And when you spread your bond coat on this, and you can stay tight to the wall with Stone Smart. This is just too much space between the wall and the stone. You want just enough to hold it. You want to be an integral part of the stone. Can we cut for a second?
Yeah.
Oh, and I'd like to show you something else. We just talked about the backs of the stones. There's three things you should compare: is the middle, the front, and the back. And if you take a look at this pile here, Colin, would you? And thank you, grandson, for doing this today. How long have you been in this business with me?
As long as I remember.
And so anyway, this stone has been sitting here for like a year. That's why you see all the debris on it. We've covered it. The cover blow off. Somebody uncovered it. We covered it back up. But it doesn't matter with Stone Smart because you can clean the face. You can use a soft wire brush on the face of the stones. And if you look at the installation instructions on the other companies, they will tell you not to use a wire brush on the face of the stone. Why not? Did we just say stone? Okay, so this will brush off, clean off. It's almost good if it has a little stuff on it. It'll help keep the face clean until we get the mortar cleaned off of it. Because you do drop a little mortar here and there occasionally. So, anyway, the faces are more resilient. They should have the feel of natural stone, not rough or scratchy. And over here again, the same stone I showed you a while ago. Let's flip it over. You can almost hear that. Hear that? Now over here, look. See, you can hear how much smoother and more. That makes it more resilient too and resistant to weather conditions and rain and what have you. And this stone, remember, was taken off the wall by a customer to bring it here. This and a few others, they took off a wall so they could add on because this company quit making this product. So all those poor people with a stone on their houses that want to add on or need a repair, maybe a car ran into a garage or whatever, God forbid. But anyway, they had to come to us, the only company in the world that makes this now. And we have the molds. And I don't know, Colin, if you can cut to the molds. There's you see way back there? That's not even 1/4 of our molds. Those boxes you see back here, way back here, just past the car, and those displays. We have, I think it's valued at $120,000 worth of molds and a variety. Anyway, let's talk about this installation a little bit. And again, there's the two backs. All right, it's I think, to be helpful, it's kind of shadowy over here. I hope it's all right. But this is an array of tools that I use in installation. This is the Hawk, the almighty Hawk. Plastering trowel. That's to spread the scratch coat or the bond coat onto the wall prior to the installation of the stone. This is a margin trowel. A brick trowel. Now, if you go to buy one of these and you're only doing one job, you don't have to get a high dollar tool and try to get one that's fairly small. There's block trowels which are longer and there's brick trowels which are shorter, and you're going to have a lot more control over the smaller trowel. And this is a tough tool. After we apply the stone and we shove it in, we set it. They used to be called stone setters, not stone layers, back when I started. But anyway, you'll tap this, you'll get the mud on the back of the rocks, and we may do this in another film. We're going to do more, so please, if you have any questions or something you want us to do, let us know. We're talking to you. So anyway, and then when you set it, you actually seat the stone, and the mud will weep out around the edges. And then when you set your next stone, the next stone, the mud will weep out around the edge. And what this is for is to go back and tuck. And when you do that, you compress the mortar rather than coming back with a grout bag like a lot of people do. And it's just better if the mud is tucked. And as you can see up there where we finished, this is what you do with this. And then you can use, what I like to do then after the mud weeps out around the edges is take a brush like this and you just kind of brush off stuff. And then a small brush will get in a tighter area. You would think that a bigger brush, like a regular painter's wire brush, would be quicker because it's bigger. It's not, because you can get in here better with these and you do a better job. And it's actually quicker because you can catch the edges and a little bit if you miss off the face, And these are great. These are sold at Home Depot. I don't know who else sells these brushes, but they're little, and they got this little brush on the end. That's really good. I couldn't find them anywhere but Home Depot. Home Depot, you owe me. And then you go back and after you wire brush and then brush it again, get everything you can. This saves you a lot of time and gets a lot of the face at the same time. And then if you desire, it doesn't matter. I have a collection of brushes. I don't have time to show them all to you, but depending on the application, if you want a nice smooth finish, see how this smooth bristle will do a smoother finish. Especially if you're like River Rock, you want a real nice smooth joint. But joints are another matter. There's all kinds of joints. There's weeping joints, wide joints, flush joints, dry stack. That's a matter of preference. If you have any questions, call us or email, text. And this little hammer kind of nice, little rubber mallet. When you're setting the stone, I told you tap the stone into the wall and the mud will weep out around the edges. Then that's what does that. And then if you have a little spot that you missed, you put the mortar on your trowel, tap it. And if your mortar is right, if it's not too loose or too wet, you should be able to turn it completely, not sideways, but completely over, and the mud should stay on the trowel. So you tap it, get rid of the loose stuff, and then you just put a little bit in there. You know, and you want to do that before you move on to laying any more stone. So when you come back, all your joints will be even. You won't have some drying, and you fix it, and then you dry and fix it, and then you got to come back. You just do it all at once. Keep it under control. And that's the name of that tune. You can see the setup here. This is over real nice, glazed, finished concrete floor. You know, and so you want your tarp way back because mud will splatter.
Yeah, here, let me get it.
When the mortar drops off the wall, it's going to hit and do this. So cover the entire area and cover it well. Check your cover as you go along, and then another little trick is I have my corners already designated. What's going to go where, what's going to fit, and you might, if it's like in a strategic area such as below the hearth here, on the face of the hearth, see how I went ahead and I just kind of got something going there already. And lay those have been measured out. I know exactly that's in the middle, that's in the middle of that, that's in the middle of that. And then you can set those and then fill in. And you got your nice little pattern, and you got some big stones in there too. Instead of having a big stone over here and a bunch of little stones over here, you can get the balance before you even start. You can pick out the stones, and when your mortar is already made, you don't want to be running around for 20 minutes looking for something because your mortar's setting up while you do that. And then you may lose your bond. Got to keep that mortar loose and use it and keep it fresh. And again, the consistency of that mortar is if you tap your trowel, like I showed you earlier, and turn it completely upside down. If it don't stay there, it's either too wet or too dry. And you can check it periodically as you go along, and you may do what they call temper the mud. It's starting to stiffen up a little bit, just a little bit of water. But don't make so much mortar that you temper it more than twice. That's just not good. You're just adding water to a mix. And other than that, you can see what's been done here. This wall over here, by the way, is natural stone. And that's a dry stack joint. This is a tight joint. I'd like to point out that look how that stone has been exceptionally wet lately, as everybody knows already. But look how that, needs to be sealed or something. Our stone is semi-sealed in the production process because of the mold release agent that we use, which is secret. So don't ask.